Hi friends, today we're going to talk about our quiz from Friday, inequalities. We're going to start with number 1. It says solve the following inequalities. Looking at the first one, I have negative 8 is less than negative 2x over 5 minus 10. Now I want to get this by itself, so I'm going to do the opposite of negative 10 to get that alone. I know negative 10 plus 10 cancels. I know that negative 8 plus 10 is positive 2. I'm going to bring down my less than sign, and then I'm going to bring down my negative 2x over 5. Now, in order to get this negative 2x by itself, I'm going to multiply this fraction by the denominator of 5. Technically, I'm multiplying by the reciprocal to cancel the 5s. And I'm going to make that negative so that I get rid of the negative as well. I know 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. Bring down my less than sign, and then I'm left with positive 2x. Now, in order to get my x here by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by positive 2. Because I'm dividing by a positive, the sign is going to stay the same. 2 divided by 2 is 1x. And then negative 2 divided by, or negative 10 divided by positive 2 is negative 5. So negative 5 is less than x is what you should have gotten for number 1. Moving on to number 2. I'm going to start out with solving my like terms. I always tell my students there's a little negative 1 out front there. I'm going to distribute that negative 1 to the x and to the negative 8. And remember that when I distribute, that means I multiply. So I'm going to have 9x minus x, and then negative 1 times negative 8 is positive 8. And then I'm going to bring down my greater than sign, my x, and my plus 29. Now, in order to continue solving this, I'm going to combine my like terms. 9x minus x is 8x. I'm going to bring down my plus 8, my greater than sign, and my x plus 29. I still need to combine my like terms, so I'm going to bring this 8 over. Okay, so I'm going to subtract 8 on both sides. I'm going to do the opposite so that these 8's cancel to become 0. And I know that 29 minus 8 is 21. Bring down my plus and my x, my less than sign, and my 8x. I still have an x on the right side of my inequality. In order to bring it over to the left, I need to subtract it on both sides. These cancel, and 8x minus x is 7x. Bring down my greater than sign, and then bring down what's left over on the right, my 21. Now to get x by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1, so I'm left with x is greater than, and then 21 divided by 7 is 3. So my answer for number 2 should be x is greater than 3. Moving on to number 3, I need to distribute this 5 to the 12 and the 5 to the negative 3w, and I need to distribute this 3 to the 5w and this 3 to the 20. 5 times 12 is 60. 5 times negative 3w is negative 15w. Bring down my greater than or equal to sign. 3 times 5w is 15w. And 3 times 20 is 60. I'm going to subtract 60, my constants on both sides. They cancel. So now I'm left with negative 15w is greater than or equal to 15w. I see that I have w's on both sides of my inequality, so I need to subtract. I need to do the opposite. I'm going to subtract 15w here, and I'm going to subtract 15w here to get it on the same side. Negative 15w minus 15w is negative 30w. Bring down my greater than or equal to sign, and those w's cancel to become 0. Now I'm going to divide both sides by negative 30. Because I'm dividing by a negative, remember my inequality sign needs to flip. So instead of greater than or equal to, it becomes less than or equal to. And I know that 0 divided by negative 30 is 0. So my answer to number 3 is W is less than or equal to 0. Coming down to number 4. Suppose you are a salesperson from American Eagle. Each month you earned $300 plus 1/5 of your sales. What amount must you sell this month to earn more than $1,500? Okay, so I'm going to take this one piece at a time. I'm looking at my numbers. I earned $300. Well, I earned that. That's it. I earned it once, so I'm going to write it down, 300. And then it tells us directly plus 1/5. Okay, I know 1/5 is a fraction, is 1/5 of your sales. Well, we don't know what our sales are yet, so I'm going to use that X to represent our sales. And it's asking us what amount we must earn, or we must sell to earn more than $1,500. So we want to earn greater than $1,500. So now I'm going to solve this like a normal inequality. I'm going to subtract 300 on both sides of my inequality. These 300s cancel. I have 1/5 X is greater than 1,200. Now remember that 1/5 X, that's a fraction, and fractions are the same as division. So I need to do the opposite of division. I need to multiply both sides by 5, which is the reciprocal of 1/5. And when I do that, I get X is greater than $6,000. So our answer is X is greater than 6,000. So you need to sell, you must sell more than $6,000 worth. All right, moving down to number 5. May charges $50 per hour to take pictures of families. She also charges a flat rate of $75 to edit the pictures. Part A says, write and solve an inequality that represents the number of hours May will need to work in order to earn no more than $400. Okay, so I'm going to look at the top in the bold. The first thing I need to do is $50 per hour. Well, I always tell my students, wherever you see the word per or each, you're probably going to attach a variable, and in this case, we're going to attach an X to represent the number of hours. She also charges a flat rate of $75. Okay, flat just means it's a one-time thing. So I'm going to add 75, and it's not going to have a variable on it. And then they want to know how much she will need to work to earn no more than $400. So no more is going to be less than or equal to 400. It could be 400, but it can't be more than 400. So now I'm going to solve this like a normal inequality. I'm going to subtract 75 on both sides to get that 50x by itself. These cancel. I'm left with 325 is greater than or equal to 50x. Now I'm going to take that 50 and I'm going to take the 325 and I'm going to divide them. So I'm going to divide 50 on both sides. The 50s cancel. I'm left with x is less than or equal to. And then when we take 325 and divide it by 50, we end up getting 6.5. So for part B, based on your answer from part A, come up with another solution that would make the inequality true. All we need to do is list a number that is less than or equal to 6.5. So I put 6. It could be anything less than or equal to 6.5. And now moving down to the very last problem, it says solve the following equation and name the type of solution. So this is going back to when we talked about infinitely many, no solution, and one solution problems. So I'm going to bring down my 8x minus 10, my equal to. Remember that I'm going to distribute this 2 to both parts of my parentheses. When I distribute, I multiply. 2 times 5 is 10, and 2 times 4x is 8x. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to subtract my 8x's on both sides. When I do that, they both cancel, and I'm left with negative 10 equals negative 10 equals positive 10. That is not a true statement, so my answer for number 6 should be no solution. And there you have it.